UFC Vegas 115 just took place, headlining Renato Moicano versus Chris Duncan, and I'm gonna give you my raw reaction to the full fight card. So let's get into it. First fight of the night, we had Kai Kamaka versus Dakota Hope. Man, this fight from start to finish was crazy. So Dakota Hope came out just bum rushed Kamaka, swinging hooks, and that was basically the story of the fight. You know, they were nonstop, just slugging it out from start to finish. And round one, I gave it to Hope. I thought that he was the better fighter, coming in with a lot of pressure and just slugging it out in the first. And then round two was kind of a tosser. Anyone could have won that round. Not really a clear winner, in that round, in my opinion. So could have gone either way. I think that the judges gave, obviously the judges gave round two to Kamaka, which I don't, see a problem with that. And, it was basically 1-1. And come round three, from fight footage, this was kind of known that Dakota Hope kind of gasses after, mid-second, early round three. And that's basically what happened. He kind of gassed out, slowed down, and Kamaka just took over and obviously won round three. Rocked Hope in that round as well, and it was a clear win for Kamaka. So good for Kamaka. We'll see where he goes. Like I said, this was his second stint in the UFC, so we'll see how far he gets this time around. And Dakota Hope, really, really good showing, really good debut for him. So we'll see where he goes as well. Next up, we have Melissa Gatto versus Deone Barbosa. All right, boys. So, Deone Barbosa wins. I had Melissa Gatto, and this was a pretty easy fight to score. The only really shocking part about this is when Barbosa quote unquote head kicked Gatto. But I rewatched that part, and it didn't really, in my eyes, it didn't really look like a head kick. It looked more like she had kicked her across the chest. You know what I mean? So maybe Gatto was kind of selling to be able to get a DQ or get a point off of Barbosa. Who knows? But yeah, in my opinion, it wasn't really a head kick. It was more of a chest kick. Either way, it's still illegal. No matter what, you shouldn't be kicking a downed opponent like that. But I think that Gatto was kind of selling it a little bit. But at the end of the day, Barbosa did win. Won relatively easily with her grappling. And yeah, good for her. Don't really think I don't know where she goes from here. Plus it's women's MMA. I don't really care, to be honest. So yeah. Next up, we have the biggest, I think one of the biggest favorites on the card in Azamat Bakoyev versus Tresean Gore. And this was another slugfest, man. This fight was crazy. Round one, Gore comes in, heavy pressure, wins round one. Because he rocked Bakoyev, and that's crazy, man. This guy's like a plus 800. And if he loses this fight, he's most likely going to get cut. So he knew his back was against the wall, basically. And this guy, it showed. He came in with heavy pressure, won round one. And then come round two, Azamat took that round, with his grappling wrestling, was able to mix it in. Rocked Tresean Gore as well, dropped him, actually. And yeah, he won that round. And then come round three, Bakoyev absolutely gassed, no gas tank whatsoever. And Tresean Gore just took round three easily. And, obviously he submitted him in round three, but, he was able to surpass Bakoyev and, eventually get the submission. I think it was a guillotine. So, yeah, good for Tresean Gore. Surprising from Tresean Gore because, like I said, back against the wall, but when we have our backs against the wall, that's when we, make magic happen. So, good for Tresean Gore. Obviously going to stay in the UFC, and we'll see where he goes. Azamat Bakoyev, disgrace, man. Minus 1,600, 1,700. Crazy, man. Yeah. Next up, we have Alice Pereira versus Haley Cohen. And this was an obliteration from Alice Pereira, start to finish. Haley Cohen just, was the shorter length fighter, couldn't land anything, was just, piecing up Casper. And Alice Pereira knew how to use her length. And yeah, man, she picked her shots, and everything that she did throw was with power, with nasty intent. Round one, easy round one to score. Pereira won that. And Yeah, and then come round two, early round two, she knocks out Haley Cohen. Surprisingly, in my breakdown, I said that, oh, like last week we had a whole bunch of women KOs, TKOs, finishes, and I was like, oh yeah, that's not gonna really happen. I don't expect that to happen, and yeah, I bit my tongue because Alice Pereira got a KO in round two. So yeah, crazy, nasty, nasty knee that she landed on Cohen, slumped her, and that was wraps. So good on Alice Pereira. We'll see where she goes. Got some potential, So we'll see where she goes. Haley Cohen, kind of, like a journeyman. So I don't know what they do with her. Wouldn't be surprised if they cut her. But Alice Pereira, pretty good in the division. We'll see where she goes. Next up, we have Lando Venata versus Darius Flowers. Man, this is so Lando Venata, I said this fight was kind of like a 50-50 fight cuz Lando Venata kind of, being sitting on ice for like 2 years. He was proven but kind of aging, kind of sitting, and Darius Flowers, in my opinion, he wasn't, UFC caliber, and he was like 0-2, 0-3 in the UFC. So I didn't really think he was belonged in the UFC. And I was, well, I was going to say I was corrected, but I think it's more Darius Flowers fighting like a washed Lando Venata, cuz like I said, if both of these guys fought in their prime, I think that Lando Venata would have, wiped the floor with Darius. But Lando, like I said, he's old, 2 years out of the octagon, ring rust. And yeah, I don't think that helped him out. But like I said, this was a 50-50 fight. I don't know. But Darius Flowers, I didn't like how he kind of was emoting on Venata's face when he was on the ground. So I hope that boy gets knocked out and gets like teabagged, Patty Pimlet style. So we'll see where he goes. Lando Venata should retire. Maybe the UFC cuts him. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Darius Flowers, hope he gets teabagged, Patty Pimlet style. Next up, we have Lissandro Costa versus Stuart Nickel. Crazy fight, man. Crazy fight. It was Costa was just one step ahead of Nickel. Nickel couldn't get anything going. He was trying to like fake or kind of, pretend that everything was good because he was smiling after everything that Costa was throwing, saying, "Nah, I'm good." But nah, it was hurting him. He was just trying to cover it, I think. But at the end of the day, all that damage, was too much to handle, and Costa was able to get the KO. And yeah, Stuart Nickel, kind of bummy, kind of trash, so to be expected. I thought it was going to be an obliteration, and to be fair, it kind of was. So Costa able to get it done. Don't see where he goes into the division because he's not really, he's good, but he's not like extraordinarily good. You know what I mean? So we'll see where he goes. And yeah, next up, we have Gimeri Pat versus Thomas Peterson. I had Thomas Peterson, and this was an easy fight to score. Now, what I noticed in this fight is that Pat was very hesitant. He really wasn't letting his hands go, and that was kind of surprising because on the feet, I thought he was going to be the better striker. But I was proven wrong because in round 3, Peterson came in bum rushing and landed a nasty, it was a hook. I don't remember if it was a left or right. I think it was a left. No, it was a right. Yeah, it was a right. But he landed a nasty hook and that dropped Pat and literally controlled Pat in round 3. It was a 10-8, easy domination. And yeah, easy win for Thomas Peterson, surprisingly. I had him to win. I picked him to win, but shit, that was a scary fight because I thought Pat was going to be dangerous on the feet, but he wasn't. Like I said, kind of choked. Who knows what happened to him, but yeah, I'm happy Peterson won. And yeah, it's heavyweight. We'll see where he goes. He's not good. Obviously, he's not good, but we'll see where he goes. And Pat, man, I don't know. I don't know where he goes. It's like every single, heavyweight that we get that's like we have potential, aka Robelis de Spain. This dude, they all kind of sell. They don't really go far. So we'll see what happens with him, but he needs to work on his takedown defense, 100%, because we knew his takedown defense was lacking, and this fight even showed it even worse. So we'll see what happens. Next up, moving into the main card, we have Jose Delano versus Robert Rochella. Now, what I will say is that Rochella has heart. This guy's got, this guy will not give up on himself. Clear as day, we saw that in this fight. But Jose Delano just one step ahead from round 1 to round 2. I will say that coming into round 3, he kind of looked gassed, a little tired, did kind of slow down. But, he could have cruised if he really wanted to, because in my book, he won round 1 and round 2. So, easy win for Jose Delano, just a hard guy to get out. In Rochella, like I said, he has heart, he has chin, kind of hard to get those type of people out. So we'll see where Jose Delano goes. I think that if he fights anyone like in the top 15, he might get whooped, But we'll see. He does have crazy knockout power, especially in the featherweight division. So we'll see where he goes from here. And Robert Rochella, I would like to see him fight someone else. Maybe give him an entertaining fight in featherweight. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the UFC feeds him. Next up, we have Tommy McMillan versus Manolo Zucchini. Now, Manolo Zucchini came out with a fury. This guy wanted to rip off McMillan's head off, but obviously that never happened. He got his head ripped off in round 1, and this fight was kind of a messy fight, kind of like very, very. Yeah, I mean, there's no other words to like really describe this fight but messy. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a back and forth fight until it really wasn't, and that was because McMillan was just landing nasty knees to Zucchini, and one of those knees hit the button for Zucchini, and it folded him. But Tommy McMillan has a lot to work on, man. His striking's kind of ugly. Nothing's precise, and if you're fighting someone that's high level, especially in the featherweight division, you're gonna get wrecked. So this guy's got a lot of work on, but I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm sure the UFC is gonna give him some trash cans to beat up. For the meanwhile, they're kind of gonna give him the Sean. They're kind of gonna give him the Sean O'Malley, treatment, until he, kind of gets a rhythm, kind of finds himself. But we'll see what happens. And yeah, I mean, the people love him. It was his debut fight, and everyone was chanting Tommy. So we'll see what happens with Tommy. I'm kind of high on him, but that striking was just kind of horrendous, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. Just feed him some trash cans, feed him lower level people, so he can kind of get some experience, kind of better his game, sharpen his his tools, and we'll see what happens. Next up, we have Ethan Ewing versus Rafael Estevam. Now, this whole fight card was amazing, man. I thought this. Well, in my breakdown, I said this fight card was going to be trash, kind of. I mean, and it wasn't just myself. Everyone was saying this fight card was kind of bummy, and we were all corrected. This fight card was really good, and I thought that this fight was going to be one of the most competitive fights on the card, and I was proven wrong once again. Ethan Ewing just one step ahead, stuffed every single takedown that Rafael Estevam threw, and just pieced him up on the feet. I thought that the lighter man skill was going to be a benefit to Rafael, but man, I was just completely wrong. Ethan Ewing was just outclassing Rafael on the feet and stuffing every single takedown, like I said. Just nasty work from Ethan. And he would, at some points, he would rock Rafael and just start emoting, like sticking his tongue out, shaking his hands. Because he knew he was just obviously the better fighter, and that was, shown in this fight. And yeah, he got the KO on Rafael Estevam. Good for him. Kind of amazing because, Estevam is 14 or was 14-0. Now he's 14-1 against a guy that, showed a really good out with Malcolm Wellmaker, obviously winning that fight, on a guy that had really good hype. And now he gets this win against a guy that has a good record. I wouldn't say he has hype because, he's kind of a nobody to like the casuals, but he really does have a really good resume. So good on him. And honestly, call me crazy, but I would love to see Ethan Ewing fight someone in the top 15. I think he's ready for it. He looks good. And yeah, let's see him fight someone in the top 15. But if he fights someone that's not in the top 15, I wouldn't mind it. Give him a couple more paychecks. And yeah, good for him. Moving up into the card, the fight of the night, we have Abdul Rahman versus Brenson Hibero. Now, this fight was a slugfest until it wasn't. Ribeiro kind of rocked Abdul for a moment, and I know everyone was clenching their butt cheeks when that happened. But Abdul kind of locked in, climbed Ribeiro's back, and submitted him. Easy dub for Abdul. And yeah, I mean, for a second he kind of gave us a heart attack, but he was able to lock it in and wasn't able to pull a Azamat Bakoyev type of performance. Losing to Ribeiro, that would have been extremely embarrassing. But yeah, good for Abdul. Not really high level, and yeah, I mean we'll see where he goes. I don't think he goes far, but we'll see. Next up, the co-main event of the evening, we have Virnajandiroba versus Tabatharicci. Now, I thought Tabitha was going to win this fight pretty easily. I thought she was going to be able to stuff Verna's takedowns and everything, but like I said, this was a hard fight to predict, and I was wrong. I was completely wrong in this fight. Yeah, Tabatharicci not able to defend a takedown to save her life. Round one easily goes to Verna. Took her down, controlled her, kind of landed some pitter patter ground and pound, and took round one. Round two was a little bit of the same. Tabitha kind of struck a little bit, maybe like for 30 seconds, a minute. But then Verna, took her down, controlled her, did a little bit of the same. And then come round three, it was like the highest striking of the fight. They stood on the feet for I want to say 2 to 3 minutes and just kind of slung it out. It was kind of even, to be honest, and low key I think that Verna kind of did piece up Tabitha on the feet. So that happened, and then Verna took her down again and controlled her on the ground. So easy 30-27. Everyone had Verna winning. It was 1 30-27 and then 2 29-28. So they gave one round to Tabitha. Don't really mind that, but Verna obviously won obliteration, and she called out Mackenzie Dern to fight for the title. Don't want to see that rematch, to be honest. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I think that Mackenzie should fight Wei Li. And yeah, that's what I think. But wouldn't be surprised if the UFC feeds Verna again, just because Mackenzie Dern's got a whole bunch of hype around her. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And then the main event of the evening, boys. We have Renato Moicano versus Chris Duncan. Now, I had Chris Duncan to win via KO. And again, completely wrong. Renato Moicano able to get the submission win in round two. Insanity. Complete insanity. So round one, they come in on the feet, and Moicano is just piecing up Chris Duncan on the feet. And I was kind of in awe because I didn't think Moicano's striking was really that good. But obviously it was a whole lot better than Duncan's. And at one point, if I remember correctly, he rocked him. And he didn't look for the kill, but he was just, picking his shots, being very technical. Obviously won round one. And then come round two, they were kind of on the feet again, pieced him up again, and actually got the takedown. And, I mean, that's all she wrote, basically. Renato got a body triangle and was just looking for that rear naked choke. And, he was landing some pitter-patter punches to the body, but that's just to open up the neck and grab that rear naked. And that's exactly what happened. He was kind of doing that. And Chris Duncan was defending relatively good until he kind of just let his defense go, and Renato Moicano got the rear naked choke. And that's crazy. That's insanity. Because I never would have guessed that. But I am happy. I'm happy that Renato Moicano won because, people love the guy. I like the guy. So not a big deal. And yeah, good for him. In the mic, he said that he wanted to fight someone that was trash so he can get another easy win. Because he's been fighting killers, aka Islam Makhachev, etc., etc. So we'll see where he goes. He did say that if he doesn't get someone that's easy, he's gonna retire. But we'll see what happens. I think it's just all talk, all a show. But yeah, good for Renato Moicano and Chris Duncan. Man, that's crazy. I thought he was gonna be the obsolete striker, but this guy just couldn't get a rhythm, couldn't find a beat, and yeah, I mean, no takedown defense. Striking wasn't on par. And yeah, I mean, Renato Moicano won in on the feet, on the floor, won everywhere, which was surprising. But yeah, good for Hinato. Chris Duncan he's got to rebuild himself. Gotta just build himself back up. So we'll see where he goes. I think he does go far. Maybe top 15. I don't think he really pushes into the top 10. Especially right now. He's 32. Kind of, like 2 more years, he's going to be 34. Kind of, he's going to be up there. So I don't think he's going to break into the top 10, but we'll see. But yeah, good for Renato Moicano. We'll see what happens with him. And yeah, boys. So that was my raw reaction to UFC Vegas 115, headlining Renato Moicano versus Chris Duncan. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. And until next time.